Hey guys, I hope I am audible to you. Can you guys confirm? Get to drop a message on the chat if I'm audible to you guys. We will get started. Hey, thank you. What's your name, by the way? I cannot. I don't see your name there. But thank you for showing up. How are you doing? Kiran. Hey, Kiran. Right, great. We'll just start in like 1 minute, guys. So let me pull up the stream on mobile phone so that I can see your messages if you guys have any doubts or anything. And hold on, give me a second. Okay, I have the stream on my mobile here. So yeah. All right, let's get started. So today we'll be coding that design that we made the other day. So let me pull up the design. I hope you guys have the design file. The stream had a bit of issues at the end of the session, right? So I have actually pinned the design file in the chat. You can get a link from there. And here is, hold on. Okay, so here is the design that we did yesterday. So we were able to complete the design. So now we'll be building this. Okay, since we have just like hey Teja, so since we have just like 1 hour or 1 hour, like 20 minutes or something, very less time, we obviously cannot write css and everything from scratch. So we'll be using this library. So we'll be using chakra ui in order to leverage the ui development. Okay, so we'll be using chakra ui to basically speed up our development process. Okay, so I'm in the installation page. So you can just google chakra ui, you will get the link. You can come to installation page. So I'll be using pnpm. Okay, if you're using npm or yarn, you can follow the respective commands. Okay, so I'm gonna copy the link. So before that we have to install next.js. So we'll be using next.js, and let's install it. So I have a project. I just have like a simple folder created, like empty directory. So there's nothing inside it. So let me open that up in my terminal. Because I cannot zoom in this terminal, I cannot show you the commands. So I can open up another terminal where I can actually show you everything. So I can zoom in here and I can show you this. So I'm going inside untitled. So untitled is, apparently I didn't know what name should I give here, so I just went with untitled. Okay, so we'll just install next.js here. So I'll be using pnpm. Again, if you're using yarn or npm, you can follow the respective commands. Okay, so pnpm create next app. Okay, create next app and dot. Okay, I won't be using TypeScript here, it will JavaScript. Okay, so just dot. Why dot? Because I want the next app to be installed in the present folder. Okay, I don't want it to create a new folder or something. I want everything to be installed in a present folder. So I'm going to click on enter, and it says, would you like to use TypeScript? I'm going to say no. Would you like to use ESLint? No. Tailwind? No. src directory? Yes. App directory? No. Would you like import alias configured? So you can just hit tab to autofill it and then hit enter. Okay, it will ask you a few questions. Those questions are just setup configurations questions, so you can just answer them. Okay, it's very simple questions, guys. Okay, once those things are done, okay, now if you go to your code editor, you can actually see the many files are popping up. So all the files are available here, so we can use them. So let me increase the font size a bit so that you guys can see it. 20. Okay, so now you can see there are many files and folders. Okay, so here inside src, let's start the server. So let's start the server. To start the server, we say pnpm dev or yarn dev or npm run dev. Okay, so once this is started, if I go to localhost 3000 in the browser, you will actually see the Next.js homepage. So you can see the Next.js homepage. So it means that our Next.js project is ready to be worked with. Ready to be developed. Okay. So now we have to remove all these things. We don't need all these things. It's just like a basic getting started guide from Next.js. So we'll just remove them. We'll just do some cleanup and then we'll start building our dashboard. Okay. So let's do some cleanup. So we'll go to pages and index.js and we'll remove everything here. So we'll keep the head. Okay. And we'll remove everything else. We'll remove everything else, or we'll keep the head. We'll just say my dashboard. Okay, this is, and the description, it says generated by create next app. We'll just say design to code. Okay, save it, and if you come back, okay, if you come back now, okay, right, okay, now you can see nothing is there. It's empty, it's blank. Okay, so everything, we just cleaned up everything, and let's now remove the styles as well. So right now here we don't need this one as well. We don't need styles because we won't be using their styles anymore, so we just have to remove them. We'll be using Chakra UI. Okay, and now we have to go to this app.js, okay, underscore app.js, and here you have to remove the global styles. So here we have this global.css, right? So remove that, we don't need it. Now if you come back, you can see the background turns to white because in this global.css we had the body background as black. So now here you can see body background is set to blackish color. Okay, that's the reason we got a dark color background. Now since we removed the global style here, it went to default settings. Okay, you can also delete the styles folder as well. You don't need it anymore. Just make sure that you're not installing it and you're not importing it anywhere. Okay, so it's good now. Okay, so no errors, so seems like it's good. Now let's install Chakra UI. Let's go to our Chrome. Let's go to Chakra UI docs. We'll copy the command. We'll come to terminal, stop the server, install it. So wait for a few seconds. It will be installed. Okay, so Chakra UI is installed. Now we have to set it up. Okay, right now by default the example you get is for create React app. So you have to scroll down and select Next.js. Okay, select Next.js, and then the installation command will be the same for Next.js as well. Don't worry about it, but the implementation is a bit different. Okay, so now once you select Next.js, you can see it says go to pages underscore app.js and then rewrite the code like this. Okay, it's basically saying update the code this way. So we will do that. So we'll just copy this code. We'll go to app.js and then we'll paste this here. That's all. So now you have your Chakra UI installed. That is all you have to do to install Chakra UI. So Chakra UI is installed. If you go back and then refresh, oh, we have to run the server. pnpm dev. Refresh. Hold on. Chakra UI is loading. I do have a lot of tabs open though. I think that's the reason it's slowing down. And moreover, I'm streaming and then I'm also trying to access Google, so the network might be, the bandwidth might be an issue as well. Okay, so everything is good. Chakra UI is installed. Okay, now the question comes, you might ask me, look at our this one design. So we have a different background, right, and different what do you say, colors and everything, right? So let's start using them. Okay, so let's start building our dashboard basically. So we'll go to index.js. We'll use index.js only since it's just one page. Okay, so now we will have to add a div. So first we have to create a div. That div will be like a parent. Okay, so it will actually occupy everything, like all the whole page. So here I'm gonna say div. Okay, instead of div in Chakra UI, you can use something called box. Okay, box. Of course, you have to import it from Chakra UI. So here we say box from Chakra UI / React. You have to import box. This box by default is a div. Okay, but if you want a section or let's say some other tag, you can do like this. You can say as section. You can do something like this. Now this will be rendered as section tag. Okay, you can do all these type of thing with Chakra UI. It's very flexible. But by default it is div. So I'm going to leave it by default div. Okay, then I'm going to use I'm going to add some things here. I'm going to say width, or I can say as main. That should be better, as a main tag, main. Okay, and then I'm going to say width or width 100% and height 100 VH. I'm using 100 VH because I want this component, right, this main component, to access my whole page, like completely from width to whole height completely. Okay, 100 VH stands for view height, like viewport height. Okay, here in this screen, so here whatever you can see from here, right, oops, so whatever you can see here from all these white screen you can see, right, that's the viewport. So we are basically trying to occupy everything. Okay, and then the background color, right, the background color, what would be the background color? So here we'll actually use that. So it is OD1018. So we'll use that background color. Okay, now if I go back, refresh, hold on, it's loading. There you go. So now we can see the whole background turned darkish color because we are actually occupying the 100% of the width and then 100 VH. So basically the entire height of the page. Okay. If you do 100%, it won't work. If you give 100% for height, it doesn't work. See, it doesn't occupy the entire thing. So we have to go back and then make it 100 VH. So now this will work. Okay. So now we are done with the background color. Now what else do we have remaining? We have the nav bar. So we have to build the nav bar. So now what we will do is we'll add the nav bar. So here I'm gonna say box, or actually I'm gonna say flex. Okay, because in the nav bar we'll be using flex, right, to align the items properly. So I'm gonna say flex. Okay, you have to import flex here. Okay. And then what else do we need? We need a icon, logo. So for that we'll use an image. Okay, so if you are my old student, right, if you, okay, there's a question, please make sure your internet connection is stable. Yeah, I know. The reason is I'm in a different setup right now. The router is a bit far away and I cannot pull it here as well. Okay, if I have to do, I'm in touch with the internet service provider team, but they're not responding properly. So I cannot pull the router here as well in my room. So what do I do? Like, I'm able to get some hardly good connection here. I have the door open today, so let's see if I'm able to get it properly. So the bar shows the network is full. Okay, I'm really sorry for that. All right. So now, so if you're following up with my classes and everything, so the one thing that I usually say is, whenever you are using images, make sure to wrap it inside a block element, right? What do I mean by that? So if you're using image, right, image tag, always make sure you're wrapping that inside a div tag. So basically it should be a child of a div tag. Okay, by that way you can easily handle its height and width. So here we'll develop a box first and then we'll have an image. So here I'm going to say image, and I'll use image from Chakra UI actually. I won't use next image. Chakra image is also better for logos and everything. It helps you handle the size and everything pretty much better. Okay, so SRC. So where do we get the image? So we'll just Google that logo. So here I'm gonna say React logo, React logo PNG. We'll go to images, click on this, and hold on, let it load. Is this? Yeah, right click, copy image at, no wait, right click and open image in new tab, and then I'm gonna copy the link, or else it will just copy the redirection link. We'll copy the image link, we'll come back and then paste it here. So now we have the, let me close this. Yeah, we have the logo ready. So here I'm going to say alt React logo. Okay, seems like there's some, one second guys, let me check if this stream is lagging. No. Okay, great. So now we can see we added the image logo and everything. So we'll just say width would be 100% and same goes to height. So basically I'm telling the image to occupy whatever the height and width that's available to it. HEIGHT. Okay, so now we will give the height and width from the box here, from the div element, that is the parent. So here I'm going to say width would be around 200 pixel, and height, HEIGHT, height would be around 100 pixel. Okay, now this box would be of size of 200 pixel width and then 100 pixel height, and the image would occupy only that much. It won't jump out of the content parent. Okay, so now if I refresh, due to streaming this whole thing is slowing down. So let me try to close all the tabs. Okay, so now we can see it is properly coming up, but we have to make sure a bit it's a bit like, what do you say, it's basically like shrinking right now, right? So I'm gonna say 60 pixel of height. Looks good, looks okay-ish though, but what about 50? Oh no, what about 80? Yeah, it looks good now. And I'm gonna make this as 220. Yeah, this looks good, but we have to make sure this is a bit smaller as well. So I'm going to go with 180 pixel of width and then 60 pixel of height again. Yeah, this one looks good. Okay, so now you can see this one looks good though, the nav bar, but there is no background to it, right? So let's give it a background. So here I'm going to say width 100% and then background BG. What would be the background color? So this will be the background color 2A 28 2A 36. We'll paste that there. Okay, and then we'll come back again. At some point it's still lagging. Damn, what do I do? Don't worry guys, I'll just, if it's continuously lagging, let me know. I'll just push the code to GitHub, and then so that you guys can have at least the GitHub code. Okay, cool. Now you can see we have the background setup for this, but as you can see it doesn't match with the design yet, right? So in the design you can see we have some space here, we have some space here, and then we have some space here. So it is properly aligned, right? How do I get the alignment done? Okay, now to get that alignment done, you have to make sure that your content is centered to the screen. Okay, so if your people are opening up this project in a very wide monitor, right, it should not be like your contents are moving towards left side and then right side. It should be in the center of the screen so that people can actually see all your content without turning their head like this. Okay, so in order to do that, you have to contain your contents. Okay, basically you have to use a container. So container is basically like defines the width and height and then some spacing. Okay, so Chakra UI already provided us a ready-made container, so we'll just use that. So we'll say container, and we will wrap it, and we have to give a maximum width for this. So I'm going to say maximum width container extra large. So I'm going to go with extra large so that it occupies as much as space available, because it's a dashboard, right? Yeah, you might need as much as space available to you. So right now you can see it appeared here. So it's centered right now. For me, since I'm using in a bigger screen, it is centered properly for me. Okay. And then you can also notice one thing here. We add some spacing at the bottom and the top, right? But here it is not. It is basically attached. So we need to add some padding top and bottom. So here for the flex, we will say py, okay, py 1 rem. Py stands for padding y axis basically, okay, top and bottom. Now if I refresh, you can see there is some space now, so it looks good. Okay, now let's start with our components for dashboard. The first component would be this overview, and then wallet, and then all these other stuff. Okay, so first let's add this overview. So we'll close this navbar, that is the flex. Okay, and then we'll add this container. So, and moreover, first before writing that, you have to define the layout first. You have to get the layout ready. So how is this layout? So you can see rows, 2 rows and 2 columns, right? Wherein here the first column is bit wider, then the width is bit more for the first column compared to the second column, and same goes to second row as well. The first column is bit smaller than the second column here. So you need CSS grid. So you need to make sure that you have 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay, so let's use CSS grid for this. So we'll use a CSS grid. So I'm gonna say grid, GRID, capital G. So this is from Chakra UI itself, the CSS grid. Okay, and then what we'll do is we have to define it. So here I'm gonna say grid template columns. Grid template columns. Column, is it? Yeah. Repeat 2. So we need 2 columns. So we need 2 columns of, no, we need 2 columns. Wait, hold on. We need 2 column, one with variable width and height, right? So here what we can do is we can say how much width can I give? 60 and 40, 60%. Would that be too much? I think it should be enough. 60%, 40%. Yeah, this will be the first row. Okay, so here I'm going to define a flex. Okay, again I'm going to define a flex box. Why am I defining a flex box again? Because we have a title and then a card. So they are column. Okay, they are one below the other. So we need to structure them properly. Okay, but I'm going to use flex direction to column. Flex direction to column. Okay, and then here we'll go with heading. Heading overview. Okay, so heading would be overview, and then we will have another flex that would be for the card. Okay, this particular card. Why we are using flex again? Because you can see we have all these things aligned properly at the left side, and then we have totally on the right side we have the chart. That's the reason we'll use flex. Okay, so another flex here, that will be of direction column. Again, why? Because we need to align all these in a single line, single column. Okay, total profit, total invested and everything. Okay, so here we will have another flex with flex direction column. I know it's confusing, but I hope you guys can try to understand that. Okay, it's very simple, guys. I'll explain the flow again. Okay, so this will be an heading. Okay, so heading total profit. Okay, and as